Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about MAME. MAME stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator, depending on how you want to interpret that. And version 0.264 just released. So this month we've got a whole bunch of bug fixes, improvements, and brand new stuff. For example, the twin-stick top-down football game Dribbler now has emulated sound. And a very rare arcade game from Entertainment Enterprises called Vampire has been dumped and emulated. Vampire was released back in 1983, and they say it's a Dracula-like vampire who stalks through town at night, searching for beautiful young women to neck for blood. Vampire is so rare that video of the game is very hard to come by. I'll drop a link to this video in the description below in the event that you wanted to check it out. Next up, we're talking about Nintendo 64 emulation on PC with RMG, or Rosalies Mupen GUI. And RMG just got a small but nice new update. So version 0.5.8 of this Mupen 64 Plus front end has just dropped. We've got a bunch of bug fixes and also some brand new updates to Glide N64, Parallel RSP, and more. And speaking about front ends, next up we're talking about Simple Launcher. They say it's an emulator front end that makes playing retro games a breeze. So release 2.12.0 just dropped, and we've got some optimizations and quality of life improvements. For example, they implemented basic checks for the system folder, system image folder, and emulator location. The app will notify the users if the value in these fields are incorrect. Moving on, and we're talking about PlayStation 1 emulation on PC with Duckstation, and Duckstation has been getting a number of updates. Stenzek uses a rolling release model, so he keeps piling in a whole bunch of changes here. For the PC version, we can see updates almost every single day, including a whole bunch of bug fixes. Stenzek has been very busy. As for Android, the latest update here was January 27th on the Google Play Store and January 22nd on their website. Next up, we're quickly talking about Mega Man Soccer, or Rockman Soccer. Now this is a two-player game. However, there's a pre-release version that has been dumped that, surprise surprise, includes 4-player multi-tap support. On top of that, this prototype has an option to set the match length to 60 minutes as opposed to 10 minutes in the final version of the game. If you are curious about it and wanted to learn more, I'll drop a link to this in the description below. And speaking about early release stuff, next up we're talking about Xbox Cloud Gaming. And Xbox Cloud Gaming just unveiled mouse and keyboard support. So they say here under Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta, Xbox insiders can preview mouse and keyboard support while playing via cloud gaming on supported browsers, and the Xbox app on Windows PC for users enrolled in the PC Gaming Preview. And here's the list of supported titles. Feel free to pause the video if you wanted to read through them all. I would say people who play Age of Empires 2 are probably very happy for this support. Next up, we're talking about Ubuntu, and this is great news if you're still on Ubuntu 14.04 LTS that released back in 2014. So Canonical announced that they're expanding long-term support to 12 years, up from 10 years, starting with Ubuntu 14.04 LTS. The catch, you've got to pay for it. This is all part of Ubuntu Pro, which starts at a one-time fee of $25. To be honest with you, I'd assume most people are probably not using something as old as 14.04. For example, 22.04.4 LTS is supported until April 2027, 100% free. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Do you use something old like 14.04? Next up, we're talking about Palworld. Kind of. It appears the success of this game has generated a whole ton of interest, and not necessarily right from Pokemon. The Financial Post and Bloomberg are reporting that none other than Tencent is interested in creating a Palworld-like game. So it's being reported that 2 studios owned by Tencent, Timmy and Lightspeed, are both building games in the style of Palworld. And these, I'm assuming, are going to be mobile games. And speaking about mobile, this is a real quick one, but it appears that the POCO F6 specs have been leaked, and it's going to feature a Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. A lot of people seem to have POCO phones. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're quickly talking about the Callisto protocol, and it appears the developers have issued an update for this game on Steam removing Denuvo. And the results may surprise you. Now, I'm not joking with you here. There are reports out there of people experiencing some pretty hefty performance gains. For example, over on DSO Gaming, they said they saw a whopping 22% performance boost in minimum frame rates on their PC. They did say they updated their drivers, but I don't think that would have resulted in a 22% performance boost. They also said the game was running smoother and not hammering their CPU as much. Additionally, Infinity Strash Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai has also removed Denuvo. Next up, we're quickly talking about the Nintendo Switch, and it appears the Switch just got some brand new firmware, version 18.0.0. As for what's new, Nintendo has added 15 minutes as an option for auto sleep when playing on TV. And we've got the usual jargon of general system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience. Michael over on Twitter says, this is a major update, so Atmosphere will be broken until updated. Silverez over on gbatemp.net says, for anybody who hasn't heard about the recent news, the SIG patches repo has been taken down due to a harsh DMCA claim by Nintendo. For now, if you're willing to mod your Switch on the latest firmware, do not update until new patches are created. Someone asks the logical question, makes me wonder if anything in this update is related to MIG usage or breaks it outright. And people say, nope, MIG Switch works just fine with the new update. And speaking about Nintendo, last up here we're talking about the Banjo Kazooie PC port, or Decompilation project. It appears this project has stalled out. It was announced a few years back. I'll drop a link to this GitHub in the description below. It appears this decompilation project has stalled out almost right at the finish line. They say it's currently sitting at 98.69%. The last commit they've got is back on March 23rd, 2023, so about a year ago. I don't know if they need a developer to help them out. I don't know if they're stuck. I don't know if they just flat out gave up. I reached out for more details, but haven't heard anything back yet. I wish I had more information for you on this one, but unfortunately I don't. If you know anything, let me know in the comments below. The only update I've got is that it was reported previously they were struggling with functions in the engine for Banjo Kazooie, but nothing other than that. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.